Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Radium, and today I have another episode of my Terraria Randomizer series. If you haven't seen the first part of this series, it's kind of important, I'd say. Mainly because it shows the absolute chaos of this mod and really explains it. So, yeah, previously we managed to defeat the Wall of Flesh just because it was ridiculously difficult. But we have unlocked hard mode, and so a new pool of weapons completely. I had to redefeat the Wall of Flesh on this with the new weapons, which was significantly easier. So we do have ourselves another Wall of Flesh treasure bag, which gives us a Summoner emblem. Not bad. Because I will be going for the, Avenger emblem and a Destroyer emblem. Because I figure I shouldn't really optimize my loadout for only one class, because that's just kind of unfair. Oh, okay, well, I've already broken the game, because I've managed to actually get myself some pygmies. That's pretty damn cool, and a lot of these weapons are pretty damn good. But we will definitely need to optimize our characters slightly more before we can really make these weapons good. Okay, and I also managed to get some Stardust cells. So that's not a bad first loadout. I guess we'll stick with that, and most importantly out of everything, we've got to go to our world's corruptions and smash some altars so we can get some hard mode ores. Anyway, this time around we have a far superior selection of weapons in my opinion. All of these weapons are genuinely fantastic from experience, and I mean, apart from maybe like 5 of them, then I'm pretty happy with whatever I'm wielding. However, we still need to start off carefully, so here we go destroying as many of these demon altars as possible. Normally when these wraiths spawn, it's pretty much a rip, but thanks to the incredible weapons we're getting, we actually have a chance to defend ourselves against some of these, which is really nice to see. Okay, I've managed to obtain myself the most broken weapon possible, really. So we've got ourselves a Stardust Dragon that's going to fight for us now, so I mean, this is not going badly for sure. If it's too overpowered, then I will desummon it, but I've only got one of it, so it's not doing too much damage. And I think that'll do for hard mode ores. I do actually still need to grab myself a hard mode pickaxe, so I'm going to go quickly get some hellstone bars. Okay, and time to go ham on the hellstone. Again, I only need like 60 of it to make the pickaxe. And I don't really have a use for anything else, because I'm going to be going straight to better tiers of loot, if that makes sense. Okay, I think that'll do for my hellstone, and there's also luckily a hellforge here, which I'll take. These items are all I really need from here, so I'm just going to dip, and I've just realised my inventory is really disorganised, so I'm going to sort that real quick. Okay, here we go, 26 hellstone bars, then I'm just going to quickly make myself the pickaxe, and boom. The ores we've been given are palladium, mithril, and adamantite, which is not ideal because I do love getting myself titanium armour. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that, so yeah, let's just go look for the others. And whilst we're looking for these hard mode ores, it pretty much guarantees the possibility of us getting to max life, just because life crystals are kind of abundant. And, okay, there's a lot of titanium palladium here as well. Boom, 18, the pickaxe is there, boom. Okay, mithril should be really easy to gather, honestly, because we only need like 100 of it, rather than 120, which would be orichalcum. Okay, and this chunk of mithril here completes the collection, there we go. So all I need to do is craft the bars up, make myself the anvil, and then from there mine this anvil, put this one down, and then craft ourselves the new pickaxe. Then we need to go absolutely ham on finding titanium. Luckily for myself, I've already seen so much adamantite on the way down to hell, so it really shouldn't take too long to get this armor set, and to be honest, I was originally going to go with frost, but it's just a bunch of unnecessary hassle. Oh, there we go, I think that's all the adamantite we need now. So once I pick this chunk up, we'll have over 300, which gives us more than enough for the armor. And I'm going to mine that little chunk just at the top of the screen there, just to be safe. Okay, now I can mine the hell forge I just obtained, turn it into an adamantite forge, craft like 50 or so adamantite bars, and we're going to make an entire armor set. Now, I am debating which set to actually go for, which is the issue. Because I've given it even more thought than before, and maybe waiting out for frost armor is a good idea. But at least getting ourselves the chest plate and the leggings is fairly good. And from here, I guess it would make sense to go for ranged, because it's like the mid-ground out of these two armors. Actually, no, I'm bad at the game, so I'm just going to craft the melee helmet so we can tank more. And additionally, having 18% increased melee and movement speed is not bad. Oh yeah, and we can actually get up to max health now, so there we go, 480 max life. Beautiful. Okay, so since blizzards have been fairly inactive, I've decided the set I'm going to go for, at least for wings, is going to be getting myself the Harpy Wings. I reckon that's the play to make, in my opinion. Anyways, it turns out with the new PC, we can actually almost run this fairly smoothly, which is ridiculous. And with all of these killed, that's pretty damn cool, because I'm already seeing a giant harpy feather, so that's genuinely awesome. And 20 souls of flight in our first wyvern, which gives us exactly what we need to craft ourselves these wings. Okay, boom, there we go, Harpy Wings. Our mobility isn't exactly optimal, but at the same time we should be alright with it. And I guess with all of that done, let's start farming towards our first bosses. I didn't know I was going to put this to use, but I still actually have 2 slime crowns from when I was originally fighting the Trinity of the Eye of Cthulhu, Queen Bee, and yours truly, the King Slime. Going by that logic, I'm going to go to each of the world's evils, being the Hallowed and Corruption, to farm out Souls of Light incredibly quickly. For those who don't know, this was a method used before 1.4 came out, and it allows you to get a lot of Souls of Light and Night incredibly fast. And it's just an incredibly well-known and renowned method around the Terraria community, to be truthful. Okay, I guess this will do for an open space. We just need some very good weapons. So hopefully we get some decent luck here. And wow, we got something really good, I'm guessing. Because we absolutely shredded through the boss and we have a bunch of souls. And heck, we have exactly enough. Okay, after a bit of grinding, I've managed to craft myself up the mechanical boss spawners. So I figure it's worth trying to do these now. So I accidentally quit out my game, so I'm going to need to re-enter the command. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the twins, because I'm fairly confident on them. Although we haven't gotten very good weapons so far, so this is going to be an interesting fight, potentially. I am seeing some, like, unique weapons for sure, but, I mean, we really do need some powerful ones to get through this. I'm seeing already that there is a much wider variety of weapons to use, which is really nice to see, but I mean, we're not getting anything, like, too good. And even when we get something really good, like the Lunar Flare SDMG, they do not last very long, so it doesn't have too much of a use to us. Also, I fixed Omni Swing slightly, so the weapons do auto-swing, but only some of them do, sadly. It makes it slightly harder to use, but it's still actually worth clicking, because we do more damage in that sense. Okay, we are doing fairly well thus far, however, even though this is slightly difficult. We are actually, like, doing fairly decent. Okay, so no problem so far, but when we enter the second phase of Spasmatism, that's when I'm thinking the problems are going to come in. I saw a Phantasm Blast there, which was really nice, however. And yeah, we just need to get through this Spasmatism phase as quickly as possible. Okay, we're about to go into it. We got a really nice blast, once again, from the SDMG and Lunar Flare. So that'll help us deal some massive damage to Spasmatism before this fight gets absolutely ridiculous. And never mind, we're already there, aren't we? Okay, for the sake of saving time, I'm going to summon the Destroyer before the fight's over. And if we get a good weapon here, then we can actually pretty much kill the Destroyer now. But sadly, we didn't. That's fun. Okay, Spasmatism needs to die now. There we go. So, now we've got a slightly easier eye to deal with, but the Destroyer is not going to make this free. And if we can manage to get through this without dying, then we might be able to do it. And then we'll do Skeletron Prime in the following night. Okay, Retinase is about to die by the looks of things, so I need to get ready to grab the treasure bag and run. I was going to potentially try Skeletron Prime, but I don't even think it's worth it, just in case we do screw up, as I want to save the treasure bags. Okay, now we get to have fun with the Destroyer, so if we get some cool weapons, then we can absolutely obliterate the boss, and we're doing damage thanks to the Stardust Dragon anyways. But it really just depends on the weapons we get, that'll speed up the fight exponentially. We managed to get a Nimbus Rod, which is contributing massively towards DPS. Also a Lunar Portal, which is cool, because that is one of the best weapons in this situation. We are doing a lot of damage, and we're not taking a lot of damage either, so this is going pretty perfectly. And once we've done this, we might be able to make ourselves some decent items. Okay, there we go. But yeah, now it's time to redo Skeletron Prime, and hopefully no more issues. Okay, once again, Skeletron Prime was fought by us, and once again, he was very, very easy. There we go. And the jungle grows restless, so I'm going to back out to save, and I guess we better start preparing for Planetarium. Okay, from all the treasure bags, we're going to get some fairly decent items. There we go. Even a dev set I can't really be bothered to use, but I'll take the wings because they look alright. From those, we can not only make ourselves the mechanical cart, but also the pickaxe axe, which is a really nice item. I'll most likely have to mind clarify it whether or not I want to. Mainly because this challenge is going to get quite difficult later down the line. However, now we have to do the most fun part of pretty much all of Terraria, which is looking for the Planetarium bulb. This will either take us a matter of minutes, or probably the rest of our lives, sadly. So hopefully it's the former. Oh, okay, well, we got a solar eclipse. I would normally be very happy about that, but sadly we don't need anything from it in this playthrough. Because, again, the only really good thing from the solar eclipse is weapons, and, you know, we kind of don't need those. Oh, okay, we found the bulb, okay. That did not take as long as I anticipated, because I've only been looking for about 5 minutes maybe. And this can potentially take half an hour in some cases, so I'm just going to mine out a simple rectangle box. And we're going to do the fight, because this is going to be one very well based on luck. But it's also one I'm fairly confident on doing. Oh, and conveniently enough, one of the bulbs is actually right next to my previous arena. So I'm going to expand this one a tiny bit, just so we have a tiny bit more breathing room. And then after that's done, I'm going to hop into the battle. Okay, that really worked. I was actually not thinking that was going to work for a second. But I managed to actually secure myself a Stardust Dragon. I'm going to get rid of the soul, so we can keep the dragon for extra DPS, as it is honestly better than most weapons accessible, even though it's just one summon without any accessories. Okay, I think the new arena will suffice, so with all of this done, let's give the fight a go. I'm going to be equipping a Menacing Worm Scarf, just to make sure we have a tiny bit more tankiness left in us. And that should help us avoid this damage, and I've just realised, thanks to copyrighted music, I need to mute this song. Okay, we're doing a fair bit of damage, but the summons are contributing a lot towards our DPS, which is really nice to see. I was actually recommended by a couple of people to go Summoner in the long run, because it gets really good later on, but I mean, I'll have to see for sure. Right, here we go as the nightmare begins. I could really do with something like a Lunar Flare right now. That would make this a lot easier to deal with, especially considering this phase does get very overwhelming in a matter of seconds. And without the Star Veil, it's actually very difficult, because a lack of immunity frames does not help me. Okay, the RNG has not been bad, however. We've gotten some really powerful weapons in this time, and a Meowmere. Okay, this is kind of ridiculous. I mean, the fight is not won yet, sadly. Although, this is definitely going really well. Okay, we've taken out all of the small, like, arms that the boss has. So, in a matter of seconds, unless I get stuck on one of those bubbles again, we should be alright. But getting one more big weapon would really help seal the deal. And with the Lunar Flare, I believe that is about it. There we go. Jesus Christ, what a way to end the fight. Anyways, as we previously saw, we literally just found the dungeon, so straight away I'm going to open the treasure bag, trash some stuff in my inventory, and we're just going to go there. Alright, thanks to Loai AFK's Ultimate Peaceful, combined with the Stardust Dragon, looting the Jungle Temple should be really simple. So I'm just going to take the important things, and we're going to get through this building as fast as humanly possible. Okay, and we've already entered the main bit, and this is a really nice arena for Golem actually, because it's really spacious. All I need to do now is clear out the, what are they called, pressure plates, and a couple more lizard power cells I suppose would not hurt. And with all of those factors combined, I think we are ready to give the fight a go. Okay, you know what, yeah, let's do this. So straight away we got a Betsy's Wrath, which is really nice, because I believe that is the weapon that reduces damage, well, reduces the defense of the enemy by 40, which is like buffed Icor basically. By the way, having the sentries and summons for this fight is even better than Planetarium, because this boss just gets absolutely shredded by them, so I do potentially see myself running a summoner loadout if I can be bothered to farm for it. However, in truth, it may be a better idea to go for something more tanky, and let the other stuff do the damage for me. And that's got him down. Jesus. Okay, I didn't even speak because I didn't think he was going to die. But I'm going to do a couple more fights since I haven't really had an opportunity to farm money for the entire game thus far. Okay, that's Golem number 2. Golem 3. 5. Golem 61. And lastly, we have Golem 812, who's just about to die. And after we've defeated this boy, we can pretty much go straight to the Lunatic Cultist, although I may consider doing Duke Fishron for a few reasons. The main incentive for doing the Duke at all is the fact that getting Fishron Wings is amazing for the Moonlord, as it's the only way of efficiently dodging the Lunar Death Beam without an absurd amount of grind, in my opinion. Okay, apparently I was stupid to the point where I miscounted my treasure bags, so I'm just going to take a pixel and chuck everything else away. Actually, you know, if the Golem is not terrible, the Beetle Husks are pretty much useless to me, as I don't intend on upgrading my armor from now. And the shiny stones are not necessary too. Okay, it's come to my attention that we are in need of a massive upgrade. The piggy bank. Okay, there we go. I cannot believe I didn't get that sooner. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, and just for you guys, I decided I was going to get the Fishron summons ahead of time. And I've decided, since I'm just that much of an idiot, I'm not going to use an arena for this fight. I think I'm good enough for this boss to do it without an arena at this stage. And I do hope I'm right, because otherwise I'm just going to look like a right idiot. Not that I'm complaining, because we are doing damage, but the DPS is surprisingly low considering we're using post-Moonlord tier weapons in the mix. Then again, of course, that DPS is counterbalanced by Pearlwood swords and, you know, terrible weapons like that, but it's completely okay, because this is a fun challenge regardless of the factors. Okay, and I discovered a slight bug. This is genuinely one of the coolest things I've ever seen, because if you fire a Vortex Beater, then every weapon becomes a Vortex Beater. And I think for this fight, I'm just going to be using it because it's so interesting. And I've also broken the game with about 71 Eye of Cthulhu yo-yos. What the heck is happening? Okay, I decided to let go because that was just getting a tiny bit on the broken side. And I accidentally fired a summon as a ranged weapon, which was something. Okay, I think we're about to go into final phase. There we go. So, in a holy world, we'd get the fish on wings first try, but I doubt that's going to happen. Because, you know, 10% drop chances and that. But this is a fairly simple fight from here on out. It's literally just a matter of 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I was stupid enough to get hit, so we don't question it. And I think the boss is dead, so I'm just going to jump into him from here on out. And there we go. Okay, so that was not too difficult, and we didn't get it. Sick. This may sound kind of bizarre right now, but honestly, out of all the weapons I've been given so far, I'm going to have to say the most powerful weapon out of everything is the Lunar Flare. I know that sounds really bizarre because it's nothing spectacular when compared to like the Last Prism or the Zenith or anything like that, but for a weapon that pops up, you can do like 2,500 DPS with it. And then when it leaves, like, you're a good deal ahead of the boss. Maybe that'll change during the Moonlord, or if I truly maged out, it would still be the Last Prism. But thanks to me playing a very neutral loadout, I think it's fair enough to say that the Lunar Flare is my nomination for the best weapon in this playthrough. Okay, since the game kept crashing whilst I was trying to record this bit, I've decided I'm going to stop the timer for a second, but now we've got 5 treasure bags from the Duke. So let's just spam them open and see if we get them, and I see a pair of fish on wings in there. That is the best case scenario because, you know, it's very annoying having to farm for these constantly. So, there we go. It's crazy to say this, but with these wings, I unironically think we're ready for the Moonlord. Now, just keep in mind, right, I have not done a Goblin army, and I'm going to fight the Moonlord. So, this is going to be... Oh, I'm just going to say it's going to be an interesting fight. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, it's time to let the chaos ensue. Luckily, we managed to get ourselves a Rainbow Crystal really early on in the selections. But never mind, we got rid of it with a Queen Slime. Or Spider. Okay, sadly I do not see the Lunatic Cultist opposing us too much of a challenge, since you can normally just fly around and the boss is actually even easy to no-hit. So let's just be careful with it, and we should probably be able to do this. I'm going to say, although every single boss thus far has been fairly simple, the only one I'm really dying at being Skeletron and Planetarium, I guess, because I died stupidly. But nothing that's happened thus far has really compared to the Moonlord, because we all know how different that's going to be. I would be lying, though, if I said that I haven't been noticing some drop-off. These weapons have definitely been weakening, and kind of at an alarming rate, since I thought I'd still be doing relatively well at this stage. However, even with the god-tier weapons in the mix, it's still just not enough to counterbalance it. But the Vortex Beater thing I've discovered is really, really good, because it pretty much makes any weapon a god-tier item. And in case you're wondering whether I think this is broken, of course I think it's broken, but it's fun. So I'm going to be using that whenever I get the Vortex Beater. I will not be using it on the Moonlord though, unless I absolutely have to. But it's an exploit I can keep in mind if I'm struggling for damage. And there we go, okay. So the celestial creatures are invading, so I guess I should just get to work. Honestly, the pillars are nothing too intimidating to me, even though they might take a couple of deaths. It's really just a matter of like 15 minutes or so, and they'll all be dead. And the pillars open all of a sudden. What the hell just happened? Okay. I'm honestly really confused after this, but I mean, I'll take it, because the Nebula pillar is really irritating to deal with. And once we've done this, all the rest should be fairly easy as well. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the items that the Vortex Beater glitch affects. It affects the Daybreak, for God's sake, so I might honestly look into this. And did you see those Razorblade Typhoons? Like, this is genuinely so cool to see. And wait a second. Is this for real? Wait, do these Stardust Dragons actually work? I may have just discovered something even more overpowered. What is this? Okay, guys, the question on everybody's mind is whether or not these Stardust Dragons actually function, and they do. Oh my god. Okay, so we literally have about 10 Stardust Dragons now. That is genuinely amazing. Okay, after about 3 crashes, I've managed to almost kill the Vortex Pillar. I have no idea why this one's been so bad in particular, but at least we've almost done it now. As long as it doesn't crash in the last 20,000 HP, in which I'm leaving to save and exit instantly. And there we go, it is dead. Boom. From here on out, we only have Stardust and Solar remaining, so those two are relatively easy to do as well. And I do think we have got it. There we go, perfect. So these enemies are going to be really annoying, so once I've broken this, I'm just going to back out the game real quick. Obviously I want all the fragments first, however, if I can, possibly. Okay, that'll do. Okay, I have some bad news, guys. So when the game crashed, which it did during the Solar Pillar, I believe, the Solar Pillar actually disappeared for some reason. So rather than redoing the Celestial events, I've gone into an Alchemist NPC complete world. So I can buy myself the fragments. So we have a good amount of fragments here. Enough to make one impending doom. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's actually get into the fight and see if we can do it. Okay, now that we're truly into the battle, my main first goal is going to be getting myself a Stardust Dragon. So I'm going to be desummoning anything that isn't the Stardust Dragon. And I know we're going to be losing some DPS because of it, but trust me, it's definitely worth getting it as our primary summon. Yeah, this attempt is going drastically smoother than the previous. Now, I want to try and get myself a Vortex Beater so we can hopefully do some good damage against the boss. Because apart from getting, like, consecutive post-Moonlord items, that's the main way of doing big damage, I find. Oh, okay, we got the dragon. There we go. Okay, let me desummon everything else, just to make sure it's our primary, and I'll take whatever other summons the game wants to give me as well. Okay, this is actually fairly standard for a Moonlord fight. I was expecting something really, really broken, but yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, we got the Vortex Beater. Perfect. Okay, now it's time to hopefully do some massive damage if we can get ourselves a good weapon. And this hand is getting absolutely shredded. Okay, I have no idea what's going on, but I've got like 51 Terrarians. And instead of getting like a good mix of weapons, it seems whenever you get a yo-yo, it kind of breaks. But I am going to take it still because these yo-yos are incredible. This is genuinely indescribable. It's like wielding 10 Terrarians at once. And it's just the most broken yo-yo in the history of the game. So, I mean, I'll take it for sure, but I'll let it go when we get to the core. Okay, here we go. I believe that's that dead. We actually took a lot of damage here. But I need to let go now and just run because we are super, super low on health. It would seem I'm a tiny bit rusty for this fight because, quite frankly, I'm not doing well. And that's about all there is to it. And that does not feel good either. But luckily we're about to get a heal in. So we can continue doing the good damage in a moment. Oh yeah, the boss has also pushed us off our arena, which is an interesting spectacle. But, I mean, hopefully we don't die from here on out. It's literally just a DPS race when it comes to it. And hopefully our regeneration and good defense can withstand the blows of this boss as well. Yeah, Jesus Christ, this made the boss so much weaker once I started, like, going off the arena and just running. Okay then, well, I was not expecting this to go well, come to think of it, but, I mean, this is actually fairly easy. I feel like whilst we're finishing the boss off, I should give my opinions on this mod as a whole, and the experience. So, first of all, it's really, really fun. I'm just gonna say that much. However, it is a very basic mod, and I think what they could do is they give you the weapons available at that point in progression, up until you defeat your next boss. So, for example, if you start the game, you can only access random weapons that are available, like, before you defeat a boss. Once you enter hard mode, you're only allowed to use weapons before the mechanical bosses, but post the Wall of Flesh, and stuff like that. And it would make the game feel a lot more balanced, but still very random and very fun. Other than that, this was a really good experience, and I genuinely look forward to doing other stuff like this in the future. So, yeah. With all of that said, the Moonlord is officially about to die, and I wonder what incredible weapon we're about to kill him with. Okay, let's see. No, it was a flying knife or a palladium sword. Either way, absolute titan of a weapon for both of them. And I mean, yeah, there we go. I mean, the challenge is officially complete. In the treasure bag, we got ourselves an SCMG. Pretty cool way to end the challenge off and break the rules. But yeah, that's all there really is to this video. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, guys.